2. All right, I think we are live. Well, hey there, my name is Marshawn Evans Daniels, and I'm so glad to be with you today and excited to share with you on one of my favorite topics. Favorite in the sense that it's something that I have been in the space of operating at a high level for over 30 years. And look, you can't tell because of the grays are disappearing about every 2 weeks at this point with help. However, I am not new to this space. I really believe when I say true to this, I mean, this is something that over most of my life that I've been doing and helping people and having longevity from the days of VHS tapes into now this digital atmosphere and space, and have built a multi-million-dollar company helping visionaries develop a high-end income and expand their influence through the avenues of speaking and coaching. I believe that speaking and coaching are the top 2 revenue streams that are essential for those who have story, advice to share with other people. For me, these have been the 2 income streams that have made it through the test of time. And so if you are coming in, come on in. I've got 6 tips for you. 6 keys to making 6 figures in 60 minutes, and it's based off of the first time I did just that. So if you're just joining in, again, my name is Marshawn Evans Daniels. Feel free to invite other people to hop in. I want to thank everybody for all your warm words, your affirmation, checking in on me with the ascension of my dad. He's over there. I've got his picture right there with me, and it's an honor to be able to be trusted in this season to be able to walk things out imperfectly and out loud, which is another reason why I love what I get to do. I mean, I truly love what I get to do. I love that I had the space to be able to take off the last month, to be with my family, to take care of things that as I go through this new season and still navigating, the next step after losing a parent, of the business stuff and all the logistics. I have great comfort in knowing that I don't have a boss, that I don't have to take time off, that I don't have to worry about asking for permission to be present with my kids, to be present with myself, to go on a spiritual retreat if I need to. And so I am so grateful for my parents who invested in me at a very early age, at a very young age, to develop the gift of articulation and communication, and how now that comes together in a way that enables me to have a really fantastic income in the top 1% of the world's population. Didn't know that was possible and didn't know I was on that path, but I have been on this path for a long time. And I say this also because there is so much noise and there's so many people out here who recycle what they see others doing, and there is a way to grab cash from doing that, to do what you see others doing and then just try to ride that wave and do it too. My approach is a little different. I believe operating from a place of mastery. And from a place of mastery, meaning that you are looking at what the master has commissioned you to be able to do by actually taking stock and inventory of your gifts, your voice, your anointing, and your experiences. Because where the economy is going, those who focus on the superficial and those who are borrowing from other people who have done the work to become masters. One, you are neglecting your wealth space and you're borrowing crumbs from somebody else's table, from revelation that they have, from work that they did, and riding that wave. You can do that. But that is not why I'm here. That's not why I love what I do. What I believe that creates longevity and permanency to where it doesn't matter what economic state is happening around you. There's a different economy that always flows from within you because you create from the tap of the Holy Spirit, and it ushers you into the business world. And my other thing is, when I got started in this space, I didn't know what a sales page was. I didn't know about online marketing at all. I think I'm pretty darn good at it now, but I didn't know that. And I'm grateful that I didn't, because I taught what I did know. I taught the things that people were picking my brain about. How do I get paid as a speaker? Why would they ask me that? Because I was getting paid as a speaker, making multiple six figures in my 20s. This is before Facebook. This is before all of the different marketing avenues that make it even in many ways easier, but in other ways harder because of all the noise. I was my brain was being picked about how to get on television. Why would they pick my brain about that? Because I was on CNN, Fox Business, ESPN. I was doing consulting and speaking for sales teams around the country, again, around the world in my early 20s. Office Depot, Home Depot, Ernst & Young, Delta Airlines, Morgan Stanley, Pitney Bowes, HP, HPE. My first corporate clients were Rolls-Royce, Tiffany & Company. I spoke at Nike to the employees at Nike's headquarters in Oregon on branding. And I just want to say this for a moment, because there is so much averageness happening, and average isn't going to be what takes you through to this next season. There is this belief in this internet online space of creating this level of similarity between you and your clients and customers or prospects or what have you. I don't really subscribe to that, because I did not respect the coach that trained me to become a champion because she was like me. I trained with her, and it was an honor to be trained by her because she had done what I couldn't even fathom. And I had to work to be able to audition to work with her. And greatness is what you need. It's what people need. People don't need your pretty pictures on social media, and people don't need your nice website. People need depth. And so I am not for everybody. Our company isn't for everybody. It's for people who are designed to be deep wells. And as I'm talking with you, I want to let you know that there is a complimentary high-level business training, a wealth training that is live right now just for the next few days called Make Money Speaking and Coaching. And it's at marshawn.com/make. Can somebody drop that in the chat for me? I'm on both Facebook and Instagram. If you could drop that in the chat, I can pin that, particularly on Instagram, because I have it here on Facebook. And that way you can see where to go. The link is also in my bio. And on the live day on Sunday, if you're watching this on the replay, go find out where you can see it and see what program we have at the time that you watch this live. But on the live day, we'll also be having both the live business training and Bible study at the same time. Thank you for posting this for me. I think it was Tisha. Hey, Amy, what's up? So we'll be doing both. But I am the type of person, so this mindset matters, okay? I am the type of person, I like to learn from the best. I don't want to learn from someone who was inspired by the best. And I don't really want to learn from someone who learned from the best. That's just me. I like the top shelf. I like to learn from the very top caliber, from those who have been in this in such a way that their depth shows. And depth scares people who are drawn towards shallow waters. And most people are drawn to what's most accessible, and what's easiest, and quite frankly, what's most affordable. My coach, my baton twirling coach, she was the best in the world. And she trained me not just to win trophies and to stand on pedestals and get medals, and not just to win talent at Miss America, to perform in front of thousands of people in front of stadiums and millions of people on television. The day I was in top 5 at Miss America, there were 30 million people watching that night. That started picking up that baton at 9 years old. That started with discipline, sacrifice, separating from the pack. And it continued with investment and training and showing up and not trying to be like her, but to be trained by her. And because when there is too much likeness, someone can't speak into your life to actually unlock greatness. And so there are a lot of people today, this whole cis thing, this is not supposed to be the topic. We're supposed to be talking, I'm going to get into it. 6 keys for unlocking 6 figures in 60 minutes, based off of the first time I experienced that. But I do want to just talk a little bit around where my mind is and how I approach what they call coaching. I call it life changing, life shifting, and life deepening, because I don't desire for you to have a quick win and for you to be able to post some great things on social media, and then you don't have the depth. You're not on the path towards deepening your well, so that people who are actually hurting can be transformed by being in your presence, even if it's not on your level of expertise. Like people don't commit suicide because you're teaching, I don't care whether it's food, nutrition, but there is a level of depth that is missing in this space. And so I'll talk more about that on Sunday. And this is just my attitude. And there, we live in a space where you dance on social media. For an algorithm. You're going to strip tease for an algorithm. And you do that because of lack of knowledge and understanding of anointing and depth, and really aligning with the caliber of who you are, which will attack the caliber of who deserves to be in your presence and who will find themselves challenged and inspired to invest in you. And here's the last thing is, you don't want to be paying someone who doesn't charge what you want to charge. And you can't just look at price, but if the price does not challenge you, it will not change you. And the one thing that is not going to ever be associated with my name, because I carry the name Evans, name of Carter Evans' daughter, is anything cheap. And so with that, I love to share with you. Now you have a little bit of understanding of my mindset and how I look at this space of true mentorship, not just hawking courses and cheap things, like just a whole different remnant. It's not for everybody, but for those that it is for, I'm talking about earth changers, earth shakers, world leaders of a new generation that's being raised up. And you're going to miss it because you're dumbing yourself down with cheap stuff. And cheap could just be you signed up because somebody has a Lamborghini and you're driven towards the superficial and not necessarily true alignment. So that's not the point of our conversation today. Look, if you're your first time here, I want to say hello. If someone sent this video to you, and if you're watching this, I'd love for you to send it to somebody. My life changed. One day I had actually a pink spiral notebook. This isn't it, but I had a pink spiral notebook, one of those just really inexpensive ones that you have when you're in high school. And I pulled that out because somebody sent me a video that I stayed up all night and I had an awakening at a rock bottom season where I didn't know I was going to pay my bills. And I thought, there is hope for how I can change my financial life, and I don't have to go get a new job. I don't have to go back to the life I had. I don't have to stay with the man who was cheating on me. I don't have to do any of those things. I can use what I've already been given, operating who I already am, and the knowledge that's already in my mind, and the story that God has given me as my life's backdrop. And that's what I've been doing the last 13 years, is helping people to generate a high-end speaking and coaching income. I've got my daughters, they're riding their tricycles. If you don't know, I had triplets in 2020. So if I see them outside, that means it's almost the end of the day. And I love being able to do this from home. So anyway, 6 keys to 6 figures in 60 minutes. Well, first of all, why speaking, why coaching? It's just the easiest way to do it, and it's the most impactful. Speaking is the most powerful income attraction tool on the planet. It makes everything easier. I'll talk more about why on Sunday. And you can register for the live Make Money Speaking and Coaching Training and Bible Study happening on Sunday. But you want to get registered for it, and if you email in and you ask me DMs, don't DM me, just sign up. We will send out a replay. Are we going to record it? No, we're going to have all these people come from all around the world and we're not going to record it. We're going to record it. But there is so much value in not postponing. Like when you move things around for things that are important for you, I believe heaven moves things around as well. I don't just believe it. I've experienced it not just for myself, but the number over 13 years. of building up millionaires in this space, right? I have seen what happens when people move things around and it creates a statement to all of heaven. She or he is serious, because willing to be inconvenienced, because you're going to have to change your life around to have the life that you want, because it's the way your life is structured right now that is blocking the life that you're made for, that's knocking at your door, which is why you're here. Which is why you're here. It's why you're on this broadcast right now. It's why someone sent this to you, because there's nothing about Marshawn Evans Daniels that's an average encounter, never will be. I know too much about myself. I've had too much experience in this body, in this mind, and with this voice to know that I can meet you at the airport, at the grocery store, and it's time for another level if you meet eyes with me. So I know that about you. And speaking, though, is the most powerful income attraction tool on the planet. Coaching is one of the most scalable ways to scale quickly your income. And the two of those together will take you through a recession. And you know how I know it? Because I've been through it before. It's not going to be my first rodeo with this. I've been through it before. And the way everyone's approaching it is from a fear state and making you scared, as opposed to a wisdom state, and telling you what you need to do without developing the depth that you need to be able to sustain certain things. Strategy, yes, but depth. Some of that is going to require spiritual maturity at a level that's beyond wherever you've been before. And there's very few coaches who can do that, because most people use spirituality as a marketing tool, especially they love the hawk the name of Christ just to get to take. I mean, you can easily take a sleeping believer to a ball place. It doesn't take a lot. But just because somebody says Jesus or they say God, that doesn't mean they have the depth. And it doesn't mean they don't have a real walk, and that's okay. But many don't. And if it's used as a perverted marketing tool, I gotta wait. Let me save it for Sunday. But look, these two avenues, speaking and coaching, two most powerful income streams that I believe are essential for the visionary called to lead. If you're not called to lead, then it doesn't apply to you. But if you're here, you probably are, even if it feels like it's new. And many of you are already leading. You're leading teams, you're leading communities, you're leading social media. But I do gather that you're wondering, is there another way that I can fortify my income, that I can create predictability, and that I can truly experience a level of monetary overflow? Is that anybody? Well, the first time that I experienced a six-figure, not just a day, but a six-figure hour was in 2011. It was the second year of my business. I had started in 2010. I'll tell more of the backstory on Sunday again for the live Make Money Speaking and Coaching training. You can go to marshawn.com/make. Be sure that you registered. If you have registered, will you drop it in the chat? And if you haven't registered, say not yet. And tell me why not. Like, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? But if you had, let me know. Put registered already in. Drop it in. And if you're an alum, say you've been through Speak for Pay, Speaking and Coaching Accelerator, let me know who's in the room, because I think you should fact check people. Anything that I tell you about numbers, there will be people, because it's been long enough that somebody from one of these 13 years was in the room the day that it actually happened. And so you can fact check everything that I say, not through just me, just the people who were there and say, I saw it happen. So good to see so many people registered. So I was, my second year, I had, at the time we were called Me University, the Ultimate Business and Branding Bootcamp. It was my second time. I outgrew the hotel that I wanted to grow into after my first event. I thought for sure it would take me a couple of years. Time collapses when you're really in alignment and you've honed in on something that is missing in the marketplace. And I didn't even know that I was, because it wasn't something that a coach could tell me. This is where alignment, this is what I'm talking about, depth, right? And so I have this second Me University event, and I make an offer for a mastermind. Now, at the time, I didn't have a coach. I was figuring this out as I went. And even with that, I put together I gotta find it. I'm gonna see if I can find it before this weekend. But I put together my own brochures, did all of the copy, all the marketing, all the writing. I did have web designer, had a little bit of a team at the time. Really, my best friend was my assistant. And I learned and I looked at what some other people did, and I said, okay, let me see if I can do that too. I was able to kind of gather a little bit of psychology. I had bought some courses, but I didn't have a private coach guiding me just yet. And with that, had filled up this ballroom in my second year, learned about email marketing, sales pages. I mean, when I first started, y'all, I was doing coding on the back because I didn't have money to hire a designer. So I've been there from the beginning. There's nothing that's ever been beneath me, and there's nothing that I don't understand about my company, my industry, or my business. And I made an offer for a mastermind with less than 30 minutes left in the entire event. I will tell you right now that is not the right way to do this. But I remember, well, at least my nanny's up there. She keeps falling sideways on her tricycle. She's okay. It scares her more than anything. They're so stinking cute. And the nanny's she fell off. She's picking her right back and putting her right back on the tricycle. Let her shake it off for a minute and get right back on the tricycle. Whole lesson right there. So I remember people raising their hands, and I remember making six figures in just those. It wasn't even 60 minutes. I probably made six figures in 6 minutes. Dana, you were there. Dana was, so I told you could fact check people who were in the room. Dana was at the very, very first Me University. There was 35 people there. And yeah, that was the beginning. That was the beginning. She saw HP was in the room as my first corporate sponsor. They were $5,000 sponsor the first year. By year 2, they were $40,000 sponsor within the first year. People were in the room. How do you get sponsorships? You don't see people in this space who have these big events. They don't have any corporations in the room, and they tell you you don't need it. You know why they say you don't need it? It's because they don't know how to get it. They don't have those relationships. They didn't come from these spaces and places. So how do you forge this world, and why is it helpful? Because most people speak through, online avenues, but they don't speak for pay. Speak for pay means that you're paid to speak up front. And you'll see why that's such a powerful tool on this live training for Make Money Speaking and Coaching at marshawn.com/make. And so that was a really powerful day. You know why that was a powerful day? Because I had to go to 3 years of law school at Georgetown to get a job that paid $125,000, maybe $130,000. It's a great salary. But I had to go through 3 years of law school at $50,000 a year to be able to make over $100,000 a year. And most of my peers had student loan debt. I paid my way 100%, completely debt-free, not one little loan taken out. I had no money to go to Georgetown. I didn't know how I was going to afford it. But you know how I paid my way through law school? I was coaching Miss America and Miss USA contestants, teaching what I already knew. How to win interview. I won interview at Miss America. I had always won interview. And so I paid attention to what people ask me for, what they ask me about. And so, anyhow, one of my friends just texted me and said she's just landed in New York to go on the Today Show. So I got distracted by that text message coming in, peer circle. So anyhow, I'll go back to that event. I realized it took me all of that time to be able to make an income, and I would have to work a whole year to get it, doing billable hours. So you could work an 8-hour day, but every hour in that 8-hour day as a lawyer is not billable. And you need a certain number of billable hours in order to reach your numbers, for them to justify your salary. You're being paid, you're actually being pimped a little bit. We can just be clearly clear. There is a price that the client is paying to the law firm, and you are billed out at a lower rate, right? So law firms are like staffing agencies, essentially. And they're making money off of my time, and I am putting all of my time into something that didn't fulfill me. But I still would have had to have worked for a year to get what I made in that 60 days. It was life-changing for me. It was life-changing to realize that that was possible, and it created a new normal. And I remember that year being at my dad and my mother's house that they had custom built, expanded the horizons for both my brother and I to see a home at that caliber, Mediterranean style, built from the ground up. But I remember walking around their lake, and my dad had a high school level education, my mom college, but my mom had to teach my dad a lot around numbers and money and math. And so what they built was absolutely incredible. Was absolutely incredible. But I remember walking around the lake one day and realizing that I don't have to do anything else, and I've already been paid for the year. And those who were on payment plans, I'm getting paid every single month. I've got $10,000 clients coming into this mastermind. And it was a whole new awareness for me. Now, I had been a speaker for 20 years prior to that. And I had made money speaking. I had made multiple six figures annually as a speaker, paid by corporations. But here was the thing. I didn't have to get on the stage. I was at the lake, exercising, wearing my little short shorts. But it was speaking that brought those corporations into the room. And so speaking and coaching to me go hand in hand, and the best coaches are phenomenal storytellers and speakers. So let me tell you what I learned from that moment of generating six figures in less than 60 minutes. Are you with me still? Again, I'd love for you, as this is a complimentary just pouring into you, I'd love for you to, because you're watching this live, especially on Instagram, I'd love for you to tag someone and say you should watch this too. Because here's the thing that also is really prevalent that nobody really wants to talk about, I'm gonna turn the hat to the back on this one, is stinginess. I am telling you, my whole life changed because a friend of mine who was a speaker, and we met on stage speaking one day, sent me a video like this. And it awakened me in a place where I was at a low point in doubting the possibility for my life. And so no one will see your tags on while it's live, but when we go off and when this is archived, will you tag someone and say, you need to watch this, come back and watch this video, because they delete all the live comments and all the live things that happen. So here's the first key. The first key is exposure. Exposure to believe it's possible, exposures to others who are ahead of you, who are in a space. And now part of the challenge right there now is there's overexposure. There's so many people, right? Like, it seems like everybody is doing it, but everybody's not. There may be a lot of people in the space, but who's leading? You know, I feel led to lead leaders. Led to lead leaders. So exposure is essential. I see Amy asking, is this for men also? Let me tell you, men are way easier than women. I know this because I managed NFL, NBA players, WNBA, Major League Baseball. I had the fastest growing women-owned sports agency in my first year of business. I signed the highest paid defensive end in the NFL. As my first client, he just signed a $62 million 7-year deal. And when we were branded as Me University and the Confidence Business School, we definitely had a ton of men. We still have men who come in. And the Speaking and Coaching Accelerator is gender neutral. Our Make Money Speaking and Coaching is taught by both me and my husband. And my husband comes in on key number 3 that I'm about to tell you about. So men are more than welcome. Most men are not comfortable learning from a woman, but we're supposed to be comfortable learning for them. So I think that just takes the maturity of a man. But it's gender neutral. Money is gender neutral. Revelation and wisdom is gender neutral, and wisdom actually is referred to throughout the entire book of Proverbs. It's the only way wisdom is referred to is in the feminine sense. And so men miss out on where the wisdom is being released in this season for such a time specifically as this and the vessels God is choosing to use. And most men are missing it because they go to the vessels that have always been used in the way that they've always been used, and they don't have what God's releasing because it's not who he's releasing it through. Key number 1, exposure. Being exposed to believe that it's possible, that expands your horizon. When I saw someone who had a $100,000 coaching program, like one client paid $100,000, that expanded my horizon in such a way that said, that's the level that I am built to operate on. Not just what I want, but that I'm built to operate on. Key number 2 is you need a magnetic topic. You need a magnetic topic, meaning a topic that draws other people in. It doesn't mean it has to be fancy. You know what makes it magnetic? It just needs to be true. So I asked the other day on Instagram, if you could make a multi-million-dollar living, inspiring people, what would your topic be? And there was some really great topics. There was one that someone posted on Twitter that I love so much that I'm like, man, if I had an award for this question, I would have given it. What's the one that I reposted really quickly. And you'll see it was from a woman named Esther Wells. And she said, this is on Twitter. She said, reminding people that they are enough. All you can do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough. Now that's going to meet somebody where they are in this season. For me, just laying my dad to rest almost 3 weeks ago tomorrow. It'll be 3 weeks tomorrow. That message spoke to me. I would buy that book. I would buy that audio. I would want to follow this person and see more of what they're talking about. And this would speak to an audience really in any genre. It is a universal topic. And I loved it. I liked it. And I retweeted it. I put a retweet on that one. It's the only one actually that I retweeted. A lot of them, all of them were great. But you can't be for everyone, but you can be for those who have been looking for the one, and that one person is you. And so you don't have to be all fancy. It just needs to be truthful. And the packaging will work on later. Topic selection, topic alignment is different than messaging. And there is a way that you can message and package and structure the title. Title and topic are not the same thing. So one, you need exposure. Key number 1 to 6 figures in 60 minutes is exposure. You got to believe it's possible. Your mind is going to be set on whatever setting you have it on based off of what you've been not exposed to and what you've been inundated with. And most of us are inundated with traditional 9-to-5 incomes, right? So we don't believe that those things are possible. So when those things come around like this, when I do an event, I always showcase an opportunity to work with me. There's no secret happening. I love making offers. I'm excellent at it. I find it to be the highest calling, the highest level of integrity, to believe in what it is that you're doing. And it's exciting for me to give someone an opportunity to change their life. And it's a gift for me to do that. Nobody has to help you. When people make available themselves to collapse time for you, it's a gift. I love making offers. You're always going to see me making offers because nothing changes unless someone is challenged and given a true opportunity. This is not an opportunity to change your life. There is no transference of income happening. There's no heart condition being elevated. This is me teaching and me sharing and me pouring into you. And if it does pique your curiosity, most likely you'll go to marshawn.com/make. But if you're a scroller, you'll just keep scrolling. That's on you. It's okay. But so anyway, I digress. But number 1, you need exposure. Number 2, you need a magnetic topic. Title and topic are 2 completely different things. The messaging is really important. But that's another level, which is one of my specialties. I love messaging, and I love doing message makeovers. The third key that you need, though, The third key that you need is to become a captivating storyteller. We're going through the 6 keys that you need in 60 minutes to make 6 figures in 60 minutes, or at least what I learned from the first time that happened. To become a captivating storyteller. I was at this marketing conference this time last Thursday. And there were 1,000 people in the room. It was phenomenal to see my friend Lamar and how much he's grown this thing. I remember when he talked about doing it when he was at our event, Speak for Pay in 2015. And to see how he's grown it through consistency is amazing. But I was telling a story and people didn't know they were in a story until I had to stop the story midstream and say, you're going to have to get the book to finish the rest. And the entire audience was about to tear the whole room down. And it doesn't actually take time, it takes a framework. And so with my husband, Jack A. Daniels, Mr. Jack Daniels, the king of breakthroughs and a master storyteller, he helped me to construct my talk. I used to focus heavily in on storytelling and teaching that, but he's just better than me. Who was at the event with Lamar, Traffic Sales Profit, where I was speaking at? Can you verify for people what happened when I stopped? I just stopped midstream. The room was about to go. They were about to revolt. They were like, no. I was like, I don't know what to do. The clock says my time is running out. I have to stop. And in that moment was really, if I was in a different space, was a teachable moment. Oh, my poor nanny. She's carrying 2 kids because they're not listening. Got one under each arm. But in that moment was, if we were teaching in one of our own events and I wasn't on someone else's stage, I would have stopped and said, you didn't even know you were in a story, did you? Over here on Facebook, they say, yes, we were there and we were mad. You want people in the story they don't even know they're in. You want people getting talking points that they don't even know that they're getting. No one knew that this wasn't the traditional, here's my opening, here's my points, and here's my closing. Nobody knew the beginning from the end from the beginning, but they were with you every single moment. There were a couple moments that I was like, are we about to have a revival in here? The diversity of emotion. Learning how to become a captivating storyteller is not about skill as much as it's about framework. And then it's having bookings so that you can practice that, but also having guidance on pulling out what's the story that is the story that works for you based off of your topic. And this takes me into step 4, key number 4. But here's the thing about 3 and becoming a captivating storyteller. Most people think they can do this on their own. And a lot of people who do presentations at their job, who are ministers, they think because they're comfortable in front of people, that they are great storytellers. Being a preacher and preaching and ministering is not the same as storytelling, because that's different than getting booked at HP, an office. Are they running still? Oh my gosh. Oh, they're getting their bikes? We're going into some timeouts. I'm sitting here like, are they still? Well, they went to get their water. They're definitely going into some timeouts today. Definitely going into timeouts today. Maybe. You can't really do timeouts too far after toddler behavior happens. But anyhow, becoming a storyteller is essential. Being a minister and, a corporate presenter, there is an ingraining that is very different. And I've been at Toyota, for example, speaking on my topic. My signature topic is also my book, Believe Bigger. And it has led to several spin-off books. 100 Days of Believing Bigger, calendar, you can get a book deal for a calendar. 365 Days of Believing Bigger. And all of this is based off, my book is not based off of an expertise type of topic like how to build a funnel or whatever, tech stuff. It's based off my story. The whole book is based off of me discovering my then fiance was cheating on me. Who knew that would be a topic bookable, bankable topic where I would speak at Toyota 7 or 8 times. I've lost count now. Doing a variety of different activations with them. Being on retainer with HP for a decade, for 10 years, since that first event in 2010, right? Being able to be on retainer for that long, being on retainer at Delta Airlines. And this is all about caliber. Where do you see yourself? Because what you see is what you believe you can be, but what you see online is because from people who don't have the same level of calling. Everybody's not supposed to only be online, right? Everyone's not only supposed to self-publish. I want book deals while they're giving out book deals. I want to be paid in advance before I write a word. Okay? So, captivating storytelling, becoming a captivating storyteller. And that's what Jack is going to walk you through, that framework, during the Make Money Speaking and Coaching training. Okay? Number 4, key number 4 is authority. You want to build your authority. When I say build it, you want to unleash it. You want to learn how to articulate it in a way that aligns with the type of client that you are, let's see, I want to say it a certain way. The caliber of client that matches the caliber of your vision. But exposure is going to be what expands the caliber of your vision, right? Can y'all hear the kiddos? They don't want to come inside, but they also weren't listening, so they're probably going into this is mommy land. So authority, building your authority. Again, this is something people think they can do on their own. And this is why you see people dancing on TikTok and dancing on Reels, which is the equivalent of strip teasing, in my opinion, for likes. We're not even talking about actual dollars or coins, but for likes. To go viral, to stay relevant. Very dangerous feeling like you have to be driven by something external, because there's just so many things I could say spiritually about that. But how deception can creep in for yourself, and what you will say yes to, and what you're willing to do to be seen and to be liked, the like button, right? So authority, how do you build authority? I'm going to talk about that on Sunday. I'm going to talk about that on the live training, okay? And then number 5, key number 5, how do you build 6 figures or make 6 figures in 60 minutes? We've said exposure, meaning exposure, someone else, you're in a space and place with high caliber people operating at the level that you want to be operating in, not what you see everyone else doing, not just what you see what is popular, that people are just, because there's a lot of hawking this, hawking that, but just exposure. Being exposed to understand what's possible. A magnetic topic is key number 2, which is different than your title. Titling and messaging is something else that we will work on. But the topic is simply, how do you want to help people? Key 3 is becoming a captivating storyteller. Key number 4 is authority. Establishing your authority as a leader of thought. We use this phrase thought leader, but a leader of thought. And the thing about being a thought leader is it comes with trailblazing. It comes with not having an example. It comes with category creating, which is what I do. It's what I've done. This space of women in faith and business in coaching did not exist when I started in 2010. It did not. And it is okay if you're like, well, I didn't know who she was. There's a lot of people in Black history that you don't know about. And you know, one of the reasons why we don't know about Black women who create Black history in real time is because we're erased. You want to know who we're erased by the most? Other women who look just like us, who swipe the name off and put their plate on top of it. But nobody wants to talk about that. But I'm going to talk about it. It doesn't make it any less true. And that's more a reflection of someone's lack of knowledge than it is your level of mastery. Because someone cannot help you go to a place that they've never been, even if they take the words from your site and put it on their own. Someone cannot take you, like you, how do you, the 7-figure consulting contract that I, pitched and orchestrated and put in front of a Fortune 50 company. How are you going to show someone how to structure that? How do they know what to charge? How do you teach them that if you haven't been in those places and spaces? And so there is a lot of recycling. And what I just did right now is an example of authority. I know this to be true. And I know that, and it's an honor. It is an absolute honor. But there is nothing expansive for you and helpful for you if I water that down in the name of false humility, because humility without truth telling is not humility. It's appeasing. It's watering. And so I said earlier that I like to learn from the very best, the top, not those who came behind, but those who created the space to begin with. That's me though. Look, what the rest of this decade holds will largely, your capacity to dominate in this next decade will largely be determined by the caliber of mentorship you receive going into spaces and places that you've never been. Tell me whether or not that is true, just by common sense. Will that be true or false? Key number 5 is monetization. Are y'all with me? Am I too deep? I'm okay with it. I don't have a dance for you. I don't have a TikTok. I do think I could do the cuff it and keep it, I think I could still do the cuff it challenge. I think people were asking if I crip walk on stage this past week. I don't even know how to crip walk, but I don't know what happened. The music was really good. And I looked at the video and I'm like, I was getting it. Maybe I could TikTok. Maybe I could do some reels. Key number 5 is monetization. You need a monetization machine to be built that leverages both speaking and coaching, that creates a seamless integration between the two, that takes your speaking and opens up the caliber of opportunity that comes from that. I'll talk about that during the live training, and that also positions you that makes you a magnet for clients so that you really don't have to put a lot into marketing. I don't have a problem with paid advertising. We just haven't really done it. It's not been a big spend. And we do multiple 7 figures every year, even without doing the big live expensive events. Without it, I am all for it. I don't teach it because I haven't mastered it. I'm not saying we won't. I'll probably do it this year. But I don't have to. How freeing is that to know that with the only machine that we've built, and I'll show you how to build that if you would like, Marshawn.com/make money speaking and coaching. How freeing is it to know that you can build a multi-million-dollar income without having to ask Mark Zuckerberg for permission for your information to be seen? Now, without having to ask Elon for whether your 140 characters, however long it's been extended, for that to be seen. How freeing is it to know that you can do that with an internal machine that you've built that stands the test of time? Anybody? So all of these things are trends that are great skills to learn, but there are a lot of people who have built their whole business on trends that keep changing and that one day will not be relevant or necessary. And I'll tell you the number one enemy to that. I'm going to write this down. This will be the first time I've talked about it, but I'm going to talk about it on the live training. And then key number 6 is visibility. It is visibility. being amazing and gifted and talented. And I can tell, I know you. This is what I know to be true about you, is that it is nice when people tell you how much you've changed their life, but it is not nice knowing that you've changed someone else's life in a way that is benefiting them, that they are happier, healthier, stronger, and wealthier. And there's not been an ounce of change in your income, or not enough change in your income to not feel drained after the encounter. True or false? It is lovely when someone gives you a compliment, but your bank does not take that compliment. The milk, we are just now coming out of the lot of milk stage. I'm talking 15 cartons of organic almond and coconut blended milk for triplets. My grocery bill, 6 figures. Easily. Clothes, 3 pair of every shoe and every sandal. And baskets of bows, because bows just don't hang out long. They just don't make it. Coats, all the things. I am grateful for speaking and coaching. I am grateful to be able to not think about what goes into my cart, even as the price of eggs are going up, probably faster than the rate of gold right now. But I cannot cash your DM that says that your life has been changed by my words. I can't cash that. I'm grateful for your kindness in coming to say thank you. You know what's better as an author? Go to Amazon and leave a review, because it helps me get the next book out. My publisher doesn't know about your DM, right? I'm grateful for the thank you. But here's the thing I know about life changers and leaders is that we change lives because we're good at it, because we're born for it, we're called to it. And it is fulfilling to know that you've made a difference, but you cannot cash that check. You cannot cash a compliment, and you cannot cash a love offering, maybe, especially if it's fruit and what kind of candies you want at your live speaking engagement. And so applause will not buy 15 cartons of milk. That's what we need around here. Applause will not buy the shoes. Applause will not pay for your parents' medical needs as they get older, your kids' schooling, private childcare that we have in the home. The applause doesn't pay for that. And so this is why I want to invite you to Make Money Speaking and Coaching. I want to invite you as somebody who is one of the original authorities in this space, who has built multiple millionaires. Some of your favorite people who you follow got their start here. And for those of you who are I don't even want to say faith driven, but are believers who are building. I'm not faith based. There's just building out of the overflow. It's even so small now to say faith based. It's too small. It's too small. It doesn't even describe the level of what this is really about. I know that business is the vehicle by which I am called to flood heaven with people for eternity level decisions that happen day by day. Creating generational blessing and generational miracle happens with belief, and that is my ultimate superpower of transference of belief. And this is not the average stuff that you're used to hearing, although the strategy is timeless. Around what does it take to get booked as a paid speaker, and what does it take to build a high-end coaching company. And again, this training is going to show you, and I'm going to walk you through a specific framework, and you'll see exactly how you can build have a $250,000 cash infusion into your income in the next 90 days. And if you're already at that level or at the $500,000 level, I'll show you how to add that comma and add a zero, because it's easy when you've done it and when you've built a proficiency in helping other people to do the same. And there's a level of creativity that you'll find in spaces and places with people who do things differently than what you've seen, who are not those who are just a product, but who created categories. There's a different level of creativity because they see differently. So you can go to marshawn.com/make, marshawn.com/make. And the training is happening this Sunday. If you're watching this on a replay and the live training has already passed, go and see what's the current training that we have available. If someone sent this to you, first of all, tell them thank you, and then you go enroll and you register. This is not designed to be a common or average encounter. If you're a scroller, I want to help you get delivered from the practice of scrolling and shift into stepping in. If you are a scroller, then you are going to miss what's available in this season and what's specifically available to you. And if you see my eyes right now, there is another level calling you, and I know you feel it. And some of you have been sitting around and watching, and some comparing and missing out on where you could be right now, because for the last 10 years, you've been watching as opposed to aligning. Let's stop. That's the same thing as scrolling. Let's stop that. Let's lose our pride. I want everybody who sees my eyes to win. The pouring out from heaven is massive right now. It's at this brink. We're getting these droplets that are already oceans. But when the dam breaks, do you have the infrastructure? Have you put the time and the investment into the right space? Can't tell you what investment you've made in the past, not attached to it. It has nothing to do with today. And so, if you can see my eyes, I want you to win. It is my only heart's desire, is for you to win at the level that you desire, based off of where you are now. And when you add a zero, when you add a comma, you become a different caliber of person. And with that, your well is deepened to the ripple effects of what happens in the lives that are changed. Go beyond if you're a business coach, if you're a health coach, if you're a wellness coach, if you're a life coach, if you are someone who is going through a rough time right now and you want to help other people, or you've overcome something and you want to help other people to do the same with your story. Learning how to monetize with a structure and an infrastructure that can stand the test of time changes who you are, changes how you show up, it changes how you give, changes how you're able to lead. And it's not about your gift. You got to stop being drunk on your gift. Meaning, you know you're good, you know you can get amens, you know you can get claps, but those things did not buy this house. Those things do not buy my babies milk and bikes and 3 of everything. Those things don't enable me, to buy my mom a car, a BMW. Those things, likes, claps, applause, gifts, browsing. There's a level of less stress that we have. I'm going to say this for women. Make sure I talk about that this weekend. There's a lot of stress simply because you're not sure how to create predictability. Women love and need stability. So, that's why Esther, I said, hold on, Mordecai. I got to go pray with my girls for 3 days. I got a good stable thing going here. I love being a Mordecai in people's lives, but there was a level of stability that she was walking into because she decided to stop scrolling. Make Money Speaking and Coaching. Come on Sunday. Free video training live right now. So as soon as you go, thank you for those who bought badges. I'm always tickled and think it's so sweet when people buy badges on Instagram. Make Money Speaking and Coaching. You can go to marshawn.com/make. Okay, marshawn.com/make. And again, it's how to build a high-end speaking and coaching company. I've been here. How long have I been on live with you all? I don't know. Is there a timer on this thing? Oh, exactly an hour. So I have poured an hour into you with, these talking points. I said, I'm going to talk about that day I made 6 figures in 60 minutes. Actually, probably 6 minutes. And I was like, well, what 6 things can I say? So I took about 60 seconds to come up with these 6 points, and then I just hit let's go live. And this is not the training. This is not even the training. What's up to all of our alum, Speaking and Coaching Accelerator, Me University, Confidence Business School, She Profits, Destiny Collective, Rich Author Academy. Rich Author Academy was amazing this past year. I had to get a book deal in 90 days with a mass market publisher. Graduates of all the things. I could go over there and pick up a stack of, I'll do it anyway. Uh-oh. Cord. This is how old school. All these are courses. Courses. Before digital days. So your girl's been around since VHS tapes and courses mailed in the mail. And is built in every facet, and it's an honor. I'm more grateful now than ever. But key number 6 is visibility. Shout out to the crew. Isn't that awesome when you're in community, that if you miss something, you've got somebody else who can help you and fill in a blank? And it's one of the powers of what I love about the community that we create. It's the caliber of who you are will attract some incredible people. And I know what also is missing is just quality community. But make sure I talk about that other point this weekend. Just a lot of new things I'm including in this training. When you join and you register for this free training, you're going to get instant access to the live video series. I encourage you to do it. Print out the workbooks. Go in, dive all the way in. Just do it. And then when you come on live, invite some people to join. Invite some people to come with you. We'll do both a little bit of Bible study, a lot of strategy. It's just, you got some today. It's just the language, my voice. It's the only thing. I won't say it's the only thing I know. It's what it's how I create new worlds. Is because it's spirit and truth together. But you'll get instant access right now. And then on, someone said the hook is still on my cap. Oh, this whole time? I just got this in Texas, so you couldn't really see it. No one told me this. Who is this? Daisy just told me. Daisy loves me. All y'all for the last hour, you're going to say, we were listening to your word. For the last hour. It's funny because I just bought a whole bunch of caps when I was in Texas. I took my girlfriend. I should have left this on actually and made a point. I tell you, be women. Like, what's up? I'm here loving on you. Daisy loves me. Hi, Daisy. Side. This is how I feel right now. Side, a little bit side. Gonna just let me have it. Just gonna let me have the whole hook. Young man, I was paying attention to your words. I was making eye contact because you said if you could see my eyes, you want me to win. Thank you, Daisy. You just need one who will tell you that you look like you just came out the store. I could have said that's the style for 40 plus. I could have said all of that. But yeah, makes sense. I did grab it pretty quickly. So yeah, show up live, be there live, always be there live. When you have a chance to experience direct impartation, be there live, move things around. You'll start seeing things move in the atmosphere. Things will start shifting in your life the moment you enroll. I don't say that lightly. I say that with intention, because this is, to use a spiritual term, different kind of soil. And I've seen this, that when you don't just scroll, but you are stepping in. So I'm going to step in. I'm going to lean in here. Start expecting and seeing things, revelation coming before you show up live. Don't just be, oh, I can just wait till 3 minutes before and sign up and get it. You're robbing yourself of preparation. This I know after 13 years of being blessed with the chance to do what we about to do. And I'm excited for you. So anyway, I just want to thank one person named Daisy. Nice to have all you here, but thank you, Daisy, for telling me about the tag that was still on my hat. Y'all, thank y'all so much for this time, for hanging out. I hope that has been helpful for you. I hope it's been focusing, sobering, and that you are in a space of expectancy for this live training. And I know that there are lives that are being, there's a stirring that's happening in you for a reason, because it's your baby leaping, because that's what womb connection does. But what will happen during this live training, if you show up and you're awake and you're alert and you are in a place of readiness, this year, the next 7 years, will never be anywhere near what life looks like now. So much bigger, so much richer, so much more impactful, so much wider, higher, and deeper. I've had too much experience with God in these moments. And now my Father's in heaven too. I don't even know what I don't know about how incredible this next season of life is about to be for me and my family, but I know I'm not going to miss it. I'm not going to miss it. I'm not going to miss it. But I do know that for those who are awake, it'll be a day that begins the beginning of a new story, and you'll tell other people about the day everything changed. About the day everything changed, and that can be you if you choose it to be so. For Make Money Speaking and Coaching. All right, gonna go. Nice hanging out with you. Thank you for those who are watching this on the replay. Be sure that you go and enroll and register. Link is in the bio. And again, if you watch this live, come back as soon as I hang up and tag at least 7 people. Tag at least 7 people that you know you need to watch this, that you want to inspire, you want to invite to watch it. And I believe that when we invite other people into something that is great, there's a different capacity, a level of trustworthiness that heaven sees in us also. But most people won't get that. 99% of you probably won't do it. But we'll see what starts raining upon those that do. All right, take care. God bless. Same for you, Facebook. Please tag, please share, invite other people. And I want everyone to win. There's more than enough room for the level of winning that is supernatural, that's about to be released. I'm not just talking about sprinkled. I'm talking about drenched. It's so big. It's so big. I believe in you. It's an honor to help you to believe bigger in you too. Take care. God bless you. Bye. See you soon. Make Money Speaking and Coaching. All right. Bye, Facebook. Nice to hang out with you here. Thank you for being here. I'll see you soon. Glad you're registered. Congratulations in advance.